Welcome to the Peak Performance and Peak Satisfaction podcast with Master Executive Coach Sherry Gregoff. Sherry helps business people perform better, get rewarded handsomely, and actually enjoy their work. After having her own career turnaround, she now helps other high-powered business professionals experience the same. Join the movement to work differently.
Welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here. Following the podcast series offering an inside look to the signature system that I use in my executive coaching, today I am answering frequently asked questions. If you have never received coaching, it can be difficult to imagine what the experience is like. While we just stepped through the substance of my signature system in this podcast, the process that we follow, today, I am answering the most common questions beyond the process. If you have questions that I don't answer here in this episode, use the last link in the show notes to send me your question directly, and I will respond to you. Let's get right into it today. First is what you want in your work and life. What would make you even contemplate my coaching? I help clients create more excellence, ease, earnings, and enjoyment in their work and life. Everything we do together creates more of this for clients. There is a reason why I offer these four-way results. These four ingredients I find mutually reinforcing, and in fact, the only way to see sustained improvement on any of these. Why do we seek more excellence, ease, earnings, and enjoyment? More excellence includes showing up your best for colleagues and for loved ones through stronger leadership skills and better decision-making. More ease is feeling capable to thrive in our work and life by reducing stress and conflict while increasing your confidence and clarity. More earnings of career advancement and recognition in the form of promotion readiness, scope of role, and compensation through better communication, executive presence, and visibility. More enjoyment so that you love your work again and look forward to each day with more energy and control for work-life balance. Pause and soak this in here. Imagine this four-way result in your career and life. More excellence, more ease, more earnings, and more enjoyment. This is exactly what we are after. Now that we are clear on why you would engage me as your coach, let's go deeper on what coaching is and what it is not. I receive a lot of questions about this. Some coaches are very niched and narrow. They may be a performance coach, or a mindset coach, a leadership coach, a productivity consultant, or a life coach. My scope is all of the above. It is part performance coaching, leadership development, business consulting, and life coaching. We process what you are experiencing. We decide what you want to accomplish. We set strategy and concrete next steps on how to do it. And we manage your mindset along the way for follow-through on positive change. Let's talk about what coaching is not. Coaching is not therapy. My coaching and my training is grounded in neuroscience, including cognitive behavioral therapy, but there are distinct differences from traditional therapy. I would describe it this way. Therapy is archaeology, while coaching is architecture. We may uncover why a current limitation on your work and life is there, and even discover when it originated, whether last year, early in your career, or in your childhood. Once identified and processed, we swiftly move to how to upgrade your perspective to create the future that you want. There is a time and place for coaching, and a time and place for therapy. I have clients who coach with me and have a therapist. While I help you process your thoughts and what is occurring around you, we are always doing so to discern the next step that moves you forward in building your future. I am sometimes asked how directive my coaching is. Some coaches will only ask you questions for you to identify the solutions within you. While powerful questions can be useful to tease out your own wisdom, it is just one tool that I use. When you are feeling stuck and are not sure where to head next, I will offer up ideas that you can try on to see if it's a fit for you. It is this process of iteration where we are thought partners, co-creating the results that you seek in your work and life. I will bring my best wisdom based on experience firsthand and in coaching other business professionals, as well as my training and techniques. Sometimes we feel like we just want to know what we should do next, and then we'll go ahead and do it. We've got the drive and determination, but are stuck without knowing where to begin. I help my clients get unstuck, not by prescribing them actions in isolation, but by collaborating and offering suggestions when they ask for them. I am also asked whether my coaching is based in theory or whether it remains high level and general. To be clear, my approach is centered on application. I can have the best tools and techniques, but the real progress is created in the application. This is a roll up our sleeves and digging in on specific details and situations type of exercise. We may take a scenario and distill some takeaways that can apply to many future scenarios, so it has long-term applicability and value. But then we always hone in on your specific situation and concrete next steps that are practical and impactful in the near term. The outcome here is that you have a new perspective on your situation. You feel more hopeful and confident in it and ready to take new action on it in the following week. Another common question I receive is how quickly will you see results? Here is what to expect. After a single coaching session, you will have a different perspective on the topic we coached on and see new next steps that you can implement immediately. You will likely start experiencing more ease right away and more enjoyment in the process, more enjoyment in your work and in your life, having this very purposeful and directed support. Once you implement the next steps discussed, you may see more excellence in your work and even more earnings straight away, depending on your situation. To give you examples, I helped a new client who hired me in the middle of receiving her compensation communication and helped her negotiate for more earnings within weeks. I've helped clients secure a promotion or successfully transition into their manager's role straight away based on the timing of our starting work together and the promotion cycle in their company or their manager's role becoming available. I share these examples so that you can start to understand that there is no minimum time frame to start seeing improved results in your work and life. In fact, I've seen people start making huge leaps forward following signing on as a client, even before their first session. Here's how I explain it. When you commit to creating the future you want, when you become serious about making positive change, you start recognizing opportunities and seizing them. For some, it feels like opportunities start pouring in their lap. In reality, it's that they're seeing themselves differently and opening up to new possibilities. I had a client of 5 months negotiate a severance package, launch a business, secure a new executive role, negotiate compensation and terms, move states, and successfully start in the new role in the space of 5 months working together. I'm also asked how long a typical coaching engagement is. For all new clients, we coach together for a minimum of 3 months, and then we continue month to month for as long as it is valuable. I have had some clients feel complete after just 3 months, having accomplished what they set out to do and not having next level goals to pursue from there. They felt complete, and we closed the coaching engagement as a success. Most clients choose to continue to keep improving their quality of work and life with yet more excellence, ease, earnings, and enjoyment. Some coaching engagements are several months long, and some have been several years long. There's no pressure to continue. I offer coaching as a service to my clients, and I only work with people who are excited about the benefits and want to keep growing and creating with my help. For anyone really pondering deeply the timing of when they see particular results, one way to look at it is how not wanting to wait for a result may keep us from ever creating it. What's most important is getting started. The sooner you start, the sooner you create what you want. Waiting for a shorter time frame, or for circumstances to be perfect, or to feel more ready, only delays and postpones getting what you came for. If the best time to start was last year or yesterday, the second best time to start is right now. I also asked what it's really like inside a coaching session. Here's what I would say. I invite my clients to pause and reflect ahead of the coaching session together. I offer them a quick checkpoint where they can reflect on a few questions and even send me their answers if they like. This can help them determine what pressing challenge, either new or long-standing, that they would like to take on together to resolve. Or it could be a pressing goal that they really want to advance. A client can steer the coaching engagement as much as they like by coming to our coaching session with what they would like to work on. That being said, I always give my clients permission to come without their homework. If they have had a hectic day, week, or year, and they just aren't clear on how best to use the time, I always tell them to just show up, to come as they are. I will make sure that we use the time well. Here are some examples to make this more clear. If a client is overwhelmed with so many things on their plate and aren't sure what to discuss or where to even start, I can lead the coaching session so that they can do a download of everything on their mind and aim to leave with a clear prioritization and plan for what to do next in their work and life in order to advance the vision that I know they are working towards. If a client just learned of difficult personal news, a health diagnosis, or a challenge with a loved one, we can use the coaching session to support them in their personal life, to process difficult emotions or determine next steps related to their health or relationships. Other times, a client may come in with a goal or challenge that they know they want to resolve. I have some clients who will keep a running tab of topics or thoughts that came up for them since our last session. They will put items on the shelf to take back down and examine with me when we are together. Whether it's deciphering that last meeting with their boss, or gearing up for a difficult conversation with an underperformer, or preparing for an interview, or crafting their case for promotion. These are just common examples. Inside the coaching session itself, the conversation is very organic and fluid. It feels like hopping on FaceTime with a friend that you look forward to connecting with. Clients feel a high level of trust and appreciate the utter confidentiality and openness in the space together. They know it is a zero judgment zone with no one to impress, and they don't have to worry about my feelings either. They don't need to keep tabs on me or make sure they are reciprocating the care and attention that I lavish them with. They don't have to worry about what we discuss getting back to their employer or colleagues or friends or family. Clients are surprised to find that we often get a good laugh, even when discussing some very heavy and difficult topics. We get right to the heart of the matter. We don't mince words, but we also have fun and can keep things light as we go. Trust is built very quickly, as is rapport. Clients get a sense for the environment I create and are able to step right back into it, session after session. The conversation is natural, and there's no pressure to keep the conversation going or to raise more issues. I lead the session, and any time can be reallocated to implementation together or for the client to work on their own. This is important to call out, Coaching is not more work. It's not another task. It's not a new burden for you. It's what lightens your load. It completes tasks off of your list. In fact, it transforms your list. It helps you place the important next steps in your calendar and immediately feel relief because you know you are set up for success. It creates ease in every way, not a headache. It resolves the headaches, pain points, and sources of stress. The signature system that I covered in the last few podcast episodes gives a sense of what we tend to cover inside the session. For more enjoyment, I show you how to actively manage your own career, which makes it more fun and purposeful. For more ease, we implement productivity and time management techniques. We cure and then prevent burnout, and we crush common limits to clear the path to your vision that you have for your career. For more excellence, I help you master business leadership, people management of your team, and managing horizontally across the organization. For more earnings, I show you how to effectively manage up. At any time, we might be toggling between these pillars within my signature system. It will feel transparent to you, but you can rest assured that I have that big picture in mind all the time to find any stones we haven't turned over to help you reach your goals. Another common question, knowing that we get into it all inside the session, is about confidentiality. Everything we discuss is completely confidential from your employer and anyone else. My only objective is to help you advance your objectives, so complete discretion and privacy is also in my best interest. I may anonymously celebrate your wins in my own content to help others see what's possible for them without divulging details that can identify you. This is a testament to your work and the results you targeted and then promptly created. I'm also asked about the frequency of sessions. For all new clients, we meet weekly. This ensures a dedicated focus and meaningful results for you inside those first 3 months. As we begin, this is the best way to assure your success. This way, you only have 1 week between sessions, so if you get stuck, we are quickly regrouping and assessing to keep making regular progress. This creates incredible momentum, and with the flywheel spinning, the results can keep coming, and fast. With weekly sessions, you enjoy support and regular accountability to keep you on track. The next FAQ is, how do I know if it's working? Here's how. Every time we meet, we are gauging improvement from the last time we met. I'm checking in on your next steps, whether you implemented them, whether they had the desired outcome, and even if you didn't take action, we'll understand why and clear the block for you to try again or to shift your game plan. That means that naturally, we are taking stock of your progress week after week. I help you recognize your wins and celebrate them. These come in different flavors too. Business milestones such as hitting targets, leading a meaningful offsite, turning over and top grading your team. Career milestones such as promotions, raises, special bonuses, expanded scope of role, secured broader job opportunities. Skill growth markers, courageous conversations with underperformers, using your voice in executive settings, articulating your value, to name a few. It can include challenges resolved, managing an underperformer up or out, repairing a professional relationship, securing that new role that you desired to shift the composition of your work. And lastly, improved experience, how your day-to-day feels to you, whether positive, negative, or most importantly, whether it's improving. You can see how it is clearly recognizable whether the coaching is working, helping, improving your work and life. Part of my role as coach is helping you become more acutely aware of what positive change you are driving and what results you have created. It's not always natural or common to be measuring our progress. In coaching, we do this innately within the structure of the coaching engagement. This helps you recognize where you want to focus most for different results, and then stay on it consistently. This also helps you appreciate everything that is working well and improving, which helps to create momentum. Because measuring progress is such a cornerstone of my coaching, I celebrate my clients' wins regularly. This helps anchor the win they had and encourages others to see how possible that win would be for them as well. I'll highlight here the testimonials page of my website at the first link in the show notes, where you can get specific real-life examples of success stories and specific wins of my clients. The anecdotes, quotes, and case studies provide the specifics. In my experience, we can't manage what we don't measure, so of course, I measure the success of my coaching. Most of my clients participate in an independently run and consolidated satisfaction survey and have done so over the last 2 years. The findings in that survey are that 100% of my clients found coaching to be useful. Additionally, my NPS, Net Provider Score, is world-class, the highest rating possible. So, when considering coaching, know that it's an investment in yourself. Specifically, an investment in your mind, your brain, your skills, in applying new knowledge and techniques. I find the only time we truly make positive change is when we invest time and money in a proven process to do so. Just like in business, we evaluate investments based on their return, the ROI. When we make decisions, we may never have perfect information, but we make the best decision we know how, based on the information that we do have. When evaluating ROI, we assess whether the benefits outweigh the costs, and if so, we move forward taking that course. What's interesting is that choosing not to move forward is also actively choosing our current situation. We don't usually recognize when we are choosing the status quo, but it's useful to realize that when our plan is to keep doing what we're doing, we are choosing the same results that we already have in terms of the level of excellence, ease, earnings, and enjoyment in our work and life. When I decide whether to invest in coaching, I see the biggest risk as not getting what I want. It's less of a risk to go for it than it is to give up on that goal or vision that I have. That's the biggest risk in my mind. Many of these last FAQs are about coaching itself, and specifically the coaching that I provide. This is the what we do together, the process we follow, how it all works. Outside of the coaching itself, there are 2 other important variables in the equation, me and you. I'll go first. I'm often asked what makes me a good coach. I will answer this through the lens of what I evaluate when considering a coach for myself. That's right, coaches have coaches. Having outside perspective and expertise as a trusted thought partner is invaluable. I heard coaching described as doing brain surgery, being able to see your mind from the outside. Of course, when a brain surgeon needs brain surgery themselves, they turn to another brain surgeon to help them. So when evaluating a coach for me, first, I look at whether a coach has been able to create exactly what I want for themselves. Then I know that they'll be able to relate to me at every step and speak from deep experience. I look at their relevant training, education, and experience. I consider whether they have been able to successfully help people like me in similar situations. I gauge whether they deeply understand what it's like for me at this stage in my journey, whether they are an insider and get the nuances. Lastly, I evaluate whether they get me, whether we have a rapport and speak the same language, and whether I resonate with their philosophy and style. Do we seem to be cut from the same cloth in terms of priorities and values? Let me tell you where I sit on each of these criteria to help us assess fit in working together in choosing me as your trusted guide. First, results. I grew my career in business over 25 years, from internal consultant to leader of global teams to chief operating officer. After experiencing a plateau in my own learning and a lack of fulfillment, I transformed my work and life to radically reorient around my unique priorities. Using coaching and the tools that I use to transform businesses and teams, I found that more success and more satisfaction was indeed possible at the office and at home. My career, health, and relationships flourished. Now, I share my formula with other business professionals because when we're thriving, our businesses, families, and communities also thrive. This is my gift and my calling to leave a positive impact on this world. It is a joy for me to help my peers in business love their work and their life again. Second, relevant training, education, and experience. I have my undergrad and my MBA from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, having studied global business, strategy, operations, and entrepreneurship. I am a Six Sigma Black Belt, trained and certified in process improvement methodologies used across industries. I am a certified master coach from an academy that is part of the Forbes Coaches Council, grounded in neuroscience and human behavior. My experience is at global Fortune 500 companies, leaders in their industry. Having been an executive myself and climbed the corporate ladder from the bottom without a network or head start in any way, being a Latina woman in a male-dominated industry that no one in my family had worked in previously. I have also founded my own business and watched it blossom. My track record of client results we've already discussed, and as mentioned, you can see it firsthand on my website. I am incredibly proud of the results that I have created alongside my clients, for their growing success and impact in business, but equally how it has restored their quality of life and enabled them to show up as the best parents and members of their community too, all done in a way that helps their health and extends their longevity. What I will add is who I work with, business people from all levels, industries, and continents. I don't only work with executives. Most of my clients have more than 10 years of work experience. This includes executives, sure, also leaders of leaders, managers, and independent contributors. This includes new and rising executives, career changers, second acts, shifting to or from being a founder, sunsetting executives, and retirement, at companies in hypergrowth and those in mature late-stage cycles. I coach business people from Main Street to Wall Street and Silicon Valley, across industries including technology, financial services, accounting, consumer products, media, healthcare, energy, real estate, at Fortune 500 companies, global conglomerates, and startups. I have coached CEOs, founders, COOs, CFOs, CTOs, chief sales officers, chief security officers, general counsel, chief of staff, sales, marketing, strategy, operations, audit, engineering, human resources, portfolio management, sales and trading, research, manufacturing and supply chain, financial planning and analysis, coaching, and more. I coach clients from the Americas, on the East Coast of the U.S., West Coast, in the South, the Midwest, in Canada, and Brazil. In Europe, England, Ireland, Netherlands, France, Germany, Spain, and Portugal. Asia, China, India, Singapore, and Israel. And Africa, South Africa, Ghana, Gambia, and Australia. On fit and rapport, I share a lot of my philosophy and perspective in my weekly podcast, articles, and daily social posts. Whether this resonates with you or speaks to you is a good initial indicator for rapport and trust, but nothing beats hopping on a live video call to actually meet face to virtual face. I'll drop that link second in the show notes to find time to get to know each other and decide if coaching together is indeed a fit. I should say here, I deeply know the pain that can come with not feeling like you have reached your full potential, or that you give so much to your work that everything else falls to the bottom of the list. I know what it's like to feel buried under corporate politics, real-world pressures, and performance expectations, juggling a lot of balls and feeling that in some way you're letting everyone down. I have had that moment of deep self-reflection and looking in the mirror, knowing that something has got to change, and now. If this feels familiar, know that you are not alone. I see you. The podcast has flown by today, and we haven't even gotten to you as the third variable in the equation of coaching, and all the FAQs that come up around your role in the coaching engagement. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we will pick back up on that and perhaps broaden it to your role in any positive change that you wish to implement in your work and life. In the meantime, send me your questions at the last link in the show notes so that I can get them answered for you. I hope you are enjoying this lead up to the holidays and that this podcast has been a helpful resource to you as you reflect on this year coming to a close and what you want to create in the new year. Until next time.
Looking for support in applying the principles and strategies in today's episode? Sherry coaches clients one-on-one as their trusted confidant and advisor, helping each client create the work and life they had only dreamed of. To schedule your complimentary career strategy session, go to sherrygregoff.com/apply to book time with her today. It's one simple step that can change everything.